Yo, what's going on, guys? Emperor Wave here, and today we're going to be talking about the latest new One Piece chapter, chapter 1016. And today's chapter was definitely an enjoyable read. It may have been shorter than Oda's usual chapters, page number wise, but at the same time I found myself getting kinda hyped over it, regardless, with the content that we did get. A lot of stuff happening with characters that I personally love. Let's get right into the chapter at hand so I can explain what I'm talking about. Last chapter we ended with the start of an intense incoming battle between Yamato and Kaido, while today's chapter actually starts off at the Fire Festival where everyone is happy and dancing. Seems almost like they're blissfully unaware of what's actually happening in their vicinity. We see Otoko and Tengu, and he's basically telling her that they light the flames to mourn the dead, and also to hopefully reach the heavens. Toko wants to know whether or not her dad will see it, and Tengu pretty much reassures her that he's watching over her. This was a pretty wholesome moment, even more so now that we know the truth about Toneyasu, through means outside of the story I mean. He was truly a great man through and through. From that moment we saw CP0 on like chapter, 1003, with that go board. I knew that they would basically be playing the role of scorekeepers, and that we would periodically come back to them for number updates of what's happening during the war. Come to find out that aside from the soldiers that have already been defeated during the battle, because all of the pleasures and all of the waiters on the live floor turned on Queen, the Luffy Alliance gained a few thousand more men, and the scale was tipped even further to 20,000 versus 7,000, which is still a large number to overcome, but because Queen is such an idiot, he made this much more manageable. Bao Huang decides that she'll use Momonosuke's quote-unquote death to break the spirits of the samurai, which is a pretty good idea at first glance, but as you guys may know, it backfires. But for now, let's talk about the trio who just so happens to be on that same floor. Now we finally got the confirmation on what actually happened with Nami. It's confirmed that her new talking Climatek is actually Zeus, and not just some random homie made with Zeus's essence, or something like that. Before he was completely devoured by Hera, he merged with the Climatek, which makes sense considering that when Hera was eating him a few chapters ago, you can actually see Nami's Climatek hanging out of Hera's mouth in that panel. So he's technically been reborn, and that can't be changed unless Big Mom uses her power on him. At the same time, while all this is going on, Bao Huang gets ready to announce Momo's death, but is interrupted by the Straw Hats coming face to face with Ulti, or in this case, head to head. I'll stop, that's a bad joke. Nah, but for real, Tama tried to warn Usopp of Ulti's presence, but he gets knocked to the ground. And when she starts to harm Tama, Nami gets angry again and swings Zeus. But when she does, Zeus actually molds himself into a spiked ball and slams right into Ulti, which is crazy. Then Usopp freed Otama with his green star so that Nami and Zeus could let loose. That rhymed. And once he does, they obliterate Ulti. Even Nami was shocked at what transpired, and she was the one who was using him. This was a pretty amazing feat, even though she was already kinda damaged internally. Not only can Nami now do crazy shape-shifting physical attacks with actual force, along with having gigantic lightning strikes that were used by a Yonko, but it's almost like she also has a second brain to advise her and create strategies. This is literally the best possible power-up she could have. On top of everything, it shocks Bao Huang, so much so that she accidentally blurts out that Ulti and Page 1 have been defeated, which shocks everyone, including the Toby Robo. It has the complete opposite effect that she was going for with the Momonosuke news. And that portion of the chapter ends with our boy God Usopp capturing Bao Huang and taking her transmitter for Tama's use, so she doesn't clean up her mess. Even though he didn't exactly get to defeat his enemy like Nami did, I'm glad he did have his moments this chapter. With that being said, we move on to the last portion of the chapter where we see Kaido and Yamato face to face on the rooftop, and Kaido transforms from his dragon form to his hybrid form. That's a pretty clear sign that Yamato isn't a joke as a fighter, but to be honest, we already knew that considering that he was going head to head with Luffy. This is your typical father-child storyline. Kaido wants Yamato to be the Shogun of Wano, but after Kaido's defeat, Yamato plans on joining the Straw Hats and sell the seas with Luffy, similar to how Oden wanted to sell the seas with Roger and Whitebeard. And even though Yamato knows that he can't win, he still plans to hold Kaido back until Luffy's return. That's very like a Straw Hat, isn't it? If I do say so myself. and then they both clash and we see the shockwaves and lightning come off of the rooftop. It makes you wonder whether or not Yamato has Conquerors. As a matter of fact, that's the question of the day. In the comment section down below, let me know whether you think Yamato has Conquerors Haki or not. Is it even possible? It's just something to think about. Anyway, I really enjoyed this chapter, especially the Nami and Zeus stuff. I've always been a fan of main characters with small companions, but this takes that to a whole new level, with the small companion being as diverse and as useful as Zeus is to Nami, especially since Nami is one of my top 3 favorite characters in One Piece. I just love it. And I'm really hoping that Oda jumps right into the Yamato vs Kaido portion next chapter. The flashback that we could get could confirm a multitude of things that could lead to some really exciting storylines. And even beside that, seeing Yamato fight against Kaido with his own fighting style should be hype in general. I really can't wait. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to click that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Don't forget to click that notification bell to stay up to date with my latest content. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.